There are many languages around the world. According to Stephen R. Anderson in the article How Many Languages Are There in the World, published by the Linguistic Society, as of 2009, there are about 6,909 distinct languages. However, in the United States of America, most people only speak English and believe that English is the only language that matters. But they are missing out on all the experiences of learning something new and becoming more aware of different cultures. There are many different languages and so many different cultures that are being ignored. And this is why I believe that people should learn multiple languages. Imagine traveling to a different country where English isn't the native language and still managing to understand the locals and their culture. Or that you are working in an international corporation and are on call with someone from Italy, and that you can completely understand them in their native tongue. Plus, being bilingual and multilingual allows you to find work easier and make more money than anyone who can only know English. The problem here in America is that the people mostly prefer to only speak English, and they refuse to adapt to any other language or culture. They, for some reason, believe that everyone should change in order to fit the American way, while forgetting that this country was founded by different cultures coming together to form it. According to an article by the VOA Student Union titled American Borns Are Increasingly English Only, published December 20th, 2016 at 1:47 p.m., educating Americans in the language other than English is failing. In the 1997 census, 31% of public elementary schools taught a second language. A decade later, these lessons have dropped to 25%. Today, 15% of public elementary schools have a program for languages other than English. This could be the reason why Americans only speak English. Also, in the same article, it goes on to say, the United States has neglected languages in its educational criteria, its international strategies, and its domestic policies. According to 17 Reasons Why Americans Should Be Embarrassed They Only Speak English, written by Chelsea Fagan and published March 19, 2014, for some reason, Americans believe that other countries should adopt English and adapt to Americans. It's about us going to other countries and expecting them to speak English to us. People in America expect others to change and adapt to speaking English instead of for them learning a different language. Kate Palmer writes in her article, 17% of Americans have no second language, published July 31st, 2013 at 10:54 a.m. 28% of Americans feel it is unnecessary to know a second language because most people they speak to speak English. It goes on to say, another 13% say that Americans should gain basic knowledge of the second language to use only if they go on vacation. This means that Americans think that different languages can only be useful for vacations and nothing more. Americans need to change this. What most Americans don't know or refuse to accept is that English is not America's official language. According to John Masci in his article, What is the Official Language of the United States?, published by the World Atlas, although many people believe that English is the official language of America, there is no actual official language. The reason for this being that there are so many languages that make up America and its people. The government even acknowledges the vast number of languages, which is why on government papers and documents there are many different translations. Leonardo de Vallos says in his work, Importance of Language, published February 26, 2014, the importance of communication is often overlooked. Despite our great powers in communication, misunderstandings and mistranslations are commonplace. It is arrogant to believe that one can travel the world and expect all of mankind to understand his or her native tongue. In order to travel the world, whether for business or pleasure, a desire and willingness to adapt to a new culture and its methods is necessary. Adaptability, of course, includes the ability to communicate with new people in various dialects, meaning that if Americans really wish to communicate with the outside world, that we need to adapt and we need to learn other languages and cultures. If Americans continue to be closed off to learning other languages and about other cultures, it can lead to misunderstandings and could possibly lead to something much worse. In conclusion, there are so many different languages and so many different cultures that are being ignored. This is why I believe people should learn multiple languages. Learning different languages besides just English can open the new world of opportunities for Americans. According to an article named Why Learn Languages, published by Lead with Languages, accessed April of 2020, learning new languages besides your own native language can give you perspective. As we explore a new language and the culture, we normally draw comparisons that are most familiar. Learning about more cultures shed light on aspects of our own culture, both positive and negative, we may not have previously considered. You may find a greater appreciation for what you have, or you may decide to shake things up.